If you struggle with procrastination and distractions that take time away from the things that you really want to achieve, then this video is for you. I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can effortlessly increase your personal productivity. You're going to learn a few techniques that are really going to help you boost your ability to stay focused and get more done. Highly successful people are very productive and earn more money because of it. So stay tuned to the end for more practical tips. My name is Yvonne and welcome to my channel. This channel is about personal growth and transformation. So if you want to improve the quality of your life, click the subscribe button. Let's get right into it. The first way to become effortlessly productive is to focus on what is most important. And there's something called the Pareto principle, or what's commonly known as the 80-20 rule, that pretty much says that there's no need to get overwhelmed with all the tasks that we have to do. All you really need to understand is that you want to focus on the top 20% of the activities on your list. By focusing on only just a few things, that's really going to help you get the most value. So to put it in perspective, if you have, let's say, 10 things in your to-do list, right? Focus on the top 2 that are most important for that day. Now the top 2 is 20% of 10, right? So that's the 80-20 principle. So you take how many tasks you have, okay, and then you get 20% of that, and that's what you focus on. So for a little background on this principle, the Pareto principle was created by an economist called Vilfredo Pareto, and he observed that 20% of the people actually had most of the wealth and the money and the influence, but 80% of the people didn't. Then he started observing this 80-20 principle across a lot of other areas and industries as well. In fact, even in business, a goal of the 80-20 rule is to identify inputs that are potentially the most productive and make that the priority. Let's get practical here, right? So I'm getting a little technical. A practical example, maybe in your life, can be the clothes in your closet, right? So think about it. Of all the clothes in your closet, maybe a small amount, maybe just 20% of the clothes that are in your closet are actually in circulation, that you actually use the most. For example, maybe your favorite jeans, your favorite t-shirt, your favorite little black dress, and so on. So, but the majority of your closet, you see, maybe about 80% doesn't get used and just sits there. And you just kind of have it there, and then you feel, oh, there's nothing to wear, right? So that's a practical example. So again, if your to-do list has maybe 10 things, chances are, if you're really honest with yourself, maybe only about 2 of the things that are on your list are really going to add the most value. Sometimes I think that we lose energy because we're just so overwhelmed with all the things that we know we need to get done. And then the guilt and the shame settles in because we know we can't simply do it all in one day. And that sense of overwhelm is what creates that sense of exhaustion, tiredness, and lack of motivation. It's like you feel overrun before you even get started. But when you focus on the 20% that will add the most value, it really helps get you clarity of mind, and it clears that feeling of having a cluttered mind. And a cluttered mind can't accomplish very much. So you want to clear the space in your mind and give it only what's most important to you. And that sense of completion is really going to motivate you to want to get more done. If you do complete, let's say, the top 2 things that you have on your plate, celebrate it. Be proud of yourself for completing just those tasks for the day. And anything else that you do beyond those 2 things is a bonus, right? Now, the second way to become effortlessly productive is to have a daily plan. A daily plan is really going to help you create a system of discipline. And discipline, to me, is more important than motivation. You see, motivation is based on how you feel, but discipline is based on sticking to your commitment to yourself. And a daily plan is important because it's going to be, it's going to help you stay committed to yourself. It's going to help you to develop a habit of being more productive and being more in the flow. So you get into the habit of writing things down. I was one of those people that would think it was okay to just have a plan of what I wanted to do in my head instead of writing it down. And I know, I thought, hey, I already know I have to do something. I already know I have to do this. Why should I write it down? And I felt like it was a waste of time to write something down, something that I already knew that I had to do. But the reality was I would have it all day in my head, right? And of course, I have a lot of other things in my mind that I have to get done along with that. And so sometimes I would forget, or I would procrastinate, or I would get distracted, or prioritize other things of lower priority. And I would do things just because I had remembered it, not because I actually wrote it down. But if I actually had wrote it down, I would have had a bigger picture of everything that needed to get done, and I would have reorganized my time differently. You see, I would have maybe removed a few things that were no longer relevant, that were weighing me down, because I felt I had to do it. So just the act of creating that space to write down my plan really made a difference for me on a day-to-day basis. It really helped me to relieve the stress of having all these things in my head, swirling in my head. Okay, so I hope you get a sense of that. Now, the third way to become effortlessly productive is to set better boundaries with yourself. You see, when we are clear with ourselves, with what we're doing and why, it's going to be a lot more easier to say no to things that don't fit. And a lack of focus creates a lot of wasted time and confusion. And so staying focused really becomes the key to increased and higher productivity levels. It's really something that you have to teach yourself and really have that discipline and set those boundaries so that you can protect your time and your day, so that it doesn't get bombarded with all these other things. You know, distractions, for instance, on the cell phone can make you lose focus. So maybe decide one thing you can do is turn off those notifications on calls, texts, and social media during those times that you really need to focus on something, on getting something done. And by turning that off or setting your phone to do not disturb, that's one way you can set a boundary with yourself, okay, and protect that time. Another way is just to leave your phone, for instance, in another room when you need to focus on getting some work done. And if you want to get anything achieved in your lifetime, you've got to set a boundary with yourself. You know, a lot of times people resist this because they're addicted to their cell phones and they don't want to admit that this addiction is going on. So when somebody, for instance, has an issue with setting a boundary with their phone, they'll say, oh, you know, but hey, I need my phone because what if there's an emergency, right? So, they'll throw the emergency card. Oh, but what if there's an emergency? I need to have my phone in case there's an emergency. So that's an excuse a lot of times, the majority of time, of people that are not comfortable or have never really set boundaries on other things. And so it's hard for them to also set a boundary with something small like a cell phone, okay? And a lot of us still remember when it wasn't a thing to have. For decades, people would be quite okay without cell phones, and they lived quite well without having cell phones always in their hand, always in their pockets. So if they did well, then I'm sure you could do quite well as well with an hour or two without your cell phone, with your notifications, your call, and your text completely off. And if you're uncomfortable, I want you to sit with that discomfort and see what comes up. What makes you so uncomfortable? It's not because there's going to be an emergency. What is it really? It's probably an addiction that you need to take care of, okay? And the chances of it actually being an emergency for someone to call you is actually pretty slim. It's pretty low likelihood. So you have to learn to fence off time from your phone to focus. And to be honest with you, if you're listening to this video, you're probably not the one that has a problem setting their phone on Do Not Disturb, okay? Those people are probably watching other types of videos. So, it's the lack of focus that's really impacting your productivity. Like, it's the lack of focus. So you have to find ways to really biohack your way into getting more focused. In fact, according to the University of California Irvine study, it takes an average of 23 minutes to regain focus after a distraction. So think about it. If your phone is buzzing notifications on this application, your Facebook or your Instagram or your TikTok or your email, or so-and-so needs this or so-and-so saw this, you see all these distractions popping up on your cell phone. Your cell phone can turn into a little bully of your time. So, and, kind of partnered with that study, think of all the 20 minutes, added up in your day, how that can actually be hours, almost the whole half a day, just on being distracted and trying to regain your focus. You see, different parts of your brain are activated every time you switch between tasks. So put that cell phone and social media in its place and prioritize yourself and your future over that distraction. Connect with what's most important and valuable to you, and that's setting those priorities and staying focused on your life instead of focusing on someone else's life. Because if you really think about it, social media is all about somebody else's life, right? That's someone else that's texting you. They're texting you about their life. So focus on your life first. Set that as a priority. Set yourself some boundaries, okay? And reward yourself. If you're struggling with this, reward yourself. Start with maybe 15 minutes or block off 20 minutes of having that cell phone off. 20 minutes, right? If you're having a hard time with this, and focus for those 20 minutes. And then as you get more comfortable, you can increase that time. Okay? So in conclusion, the way to become effortlessly productive is to focus on what is most important by focusing on the top 20% of the things that you need to get done. The second is to have a daily plan. The third is to set boundaries with yourself. And this way you stay focused and motivated and highly productive. It's really going to help you to increase your personal productivity. Check out my Goals Mastery program if you feel you need more clarity in life, if this video resonated with you, if this message resonated with you. This course is going to be great because it's going to help you identify, define, and align with your vision, mission, and goals in life. It's also going to help you map out a strategic plan with action steps so that you can get real results towards your goals. Also, journal writing is a tool that has helped me in my personal development and personal transformation journey. That's why I created a journal that's really going to help guide you with really, really great journal questions and journal prompts, inspirational and motivational quotes. Click on the link in the description box below to collect your favorite journals. And also, it's always great to have inspirational and motivational reminders to keep us moving forward towards our dreams and goals. So click on the link in the description box below to choose your favorite custom designed gift for yourself, family, and friends in my online merch store. And if you enjoyed this video and want to improve the quality of your life, click the subscribe button to level up. Oceans of love and light. Till next time.